fans like me wanted the Lakers to sort of make the finals so that the Celtics could beat them, because in 1986 the Celtics had the best team of all time. But then in 1987, I remember during the regular season, it was in February because I was on school vacation, and I remember watching a lot of basketball on that vacation, and the Lakers were on the road. They weren't playing home games, and a lot of their games were being televised. And the Lakers were just destroying teams on the road. They were just killing them. And Magic was leading them. And for the first time, I sort of, instead of like not wanting them to win, I actually wanted them to win. They had gained my respect because of how they were playing on the road with such dominance. And 87 was another year when the Lakers went on to win the championship, beating the Celtics. So it's just been a great rivalry throughout the 80s. And unfortunately, as the teams got older and as the 80s ended, that rivalry ended. But I kind of feel it was like the golden age of basketball, the 80s, where the Lakers were and especially where the Celtics were.
Wow. Thank you. But also, being a Celtics fan around this era, because basically, like, my uncle showed me that same clip, and my uncle was born in 1961, and he's like a die-hard Lakers fan.
Yeah.
So it's like I wanted to get the best of both worlds, right? Because you know me, I was only born in 1999, so I only know the present time. So you know, I want to get the experience of like how the draft class was and how did it like have an effect like on the fans in itself as being one of the biggest rivalries. Now, may I ask you, like, I wasn't too sure about the head coach at that time.
Yeah.
Can you explain who the head coach was and how it had an impact on its players and on the fans too?
Well, the Celtics had a couple different head coaches. When they won their first championship in '81, it was this guy Bill Finch, who actually had come from, I think, Houston, and he was sort of like he was never a player. He was always he was never a professional player. He was like one of these sort of old school, hard-nosed coaches. And he took them through their first championship, and he sort of really molded the team. But the Celtics won the next two championships they had in '84 and '86 under Casey Jones. Casey Jones was part of the 1950s Celtics. He actually went to college with Bill Russell. And when Bill Russell and Casey Jones won their team at University of San Francisco, won 2 national championships, they both came out of college together. They both went to the Celtics. They both won multiple championships together. And then Casey Jones became the coach of the Celtics in the mid-'80s and led them to 2 championships. He was much more of a player's coach, very sort of like low-key, hands-on, almost like, you know, give them some ideas, but then let the players sort of set the tone for the game. Where Bill Finch was much more one of those coaches who wanted to control the game. The Lakers, it was interesting. I think my memory's correct. The Lakers won their first championship with a coach again who was a college coach, and then fired him the next year, and that's when Pat Riley came to be the coach of the Lakers during the rest of the 80s and the rest of their championships. Pat Riley was famous primarily as a college player at the University of Kentucky. And then he did play in the NBA, but he was more like a role player, bench player, never a star in the NBA. But it was a rivalry actually between sort of Pat Riley, who was again a coach who much more, he wanted to be known. He was like a big personality. Casey Jones was very low-key personalities. So it was kind of strange that the teams had different personalities in their coaches, even though, and the teams also had different personalities in their play.
Thank you. Lastly, to wrap it up, my questions. As being a Celtics fan basically all your life,
Yeah.
You
Well, not
know,
all my life. I grew up around New York, so I was a New York Knicks fan.
Wow.
When they were terrible.
wow, but basically, I mean, I am studying the oral history, but give us like your opinion. What part of the the Celtics legacy do you think should be highlighted and should be never forgotten?
Well, the Celtics pride themselves on their sort of championship history, and it's gone through different stages. So there was the Bill Russell stage, there was the sort of John Havlicek, Cowan's stage, and then there was the Larry Bird stage through his 3 championships. So there's always been a player or two that's sort of been the dominant figure, but the Celtics really, I think, pride themselves on, and I think all championship teams do really, pride themselves on teamwork. The thing about the rivalry between Bird and Magic was that it wasn't a rivalry between two people who were trying to score the most points. It was two people who could dominate games in so many different ways. Bird was the best passer of a forward of any time, and Magic was like a unique point guard with his size and what he could see and how he could handle the ball. So they were both sort of like new kinds of players for their positions that could dominate a game. But they really tried to make the people around them better, both of them. So both Bird and Magic, I think, would emphasize the team aspect of the game more than their individual accomplishments.
Thank you so much. You've been greatest help. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, take care.